vigilante. Resist the system, you know what I'm saying? Feel good right now. Let's get it.
Keep it 100.
Yeah, hey, minor is the one you want talking to your sons. I can talk about God, I can tell them about drugs. I can show them how to move when they see you in the mud. Get to work and make a brick. It was me and Doc putting everything on the house, investing everything in music, then explain it to the spouse. Came a long way from sleeping on my brother's couch. Realest you done met, call a op, he a vouch. Yeah, I own a few mistakes, but being fake ain't one of these. Matter of fact, I probably kept it.
I done woke up, slept on me, tryna eat with vultures. Y'all look frail, let me feed the culture. Can't get full of the lead and coke, huh? Still sober, y'all OD, follow me. When the rain follow me, king. Yeah, I know the king, Martin Luther King. You ain't really gonna throne, boy, you in a dream. Wake up, y'all don't want it. Down to the wire, better put Milo on it. And let's un chico malo, homie. And if I'm scared, I guess I don't know it. Cause I'm still going still right where the heat at. And where I ain't supposed to be, that's where I be at. And I spit that, sit back, listen to the truth while the sky crack. And the Lord get back. Or somebody wants to get back. And they click clack, leave it been back, looking at the syntax. Never left, but I've been back. Cross on my bit neck, and I don't rap gospel, I live that. But I'm nothing but a gimmick. You see me in the club, funny, you was in it. Skip a cosign, shout out to the homie Kendrick. And all I hear is crickets when I run into the critics. Oh well, show tells me a lot when they tell me to rock. Keep my eyebrows raised, man, what I'm cooking. And the sales may drop, yeah, the mail may stop. But they ask for the truth, yeah, I'm a dork. They like, how you do that now? Sound kinda nice, boy, who that down? Is everything real good, true and fair? But you probably wouldn't listen if you knew that down.
The heart beats just a little faster right now, doesn't it? As they stand alone right now. No cornermen. They're just ready to make the ring walk for the biggest fight that boxing can.
Keep your hands up, keep your chins up. It's the one and only Ghost with the shadow in the front. And I hope everybody's having a blessed Sunday, man. Y'all be safe out there. I don't know how the weather is where y'all at, but it's weird by me. Give me 1 second real quick. Make sure everything is good over here. Okay. Is my sound good? Yeah, my sound is good. All right. Hope everyone's being all right today. I was gonna do a live later. I figured, bro, I'll just get it out the way because we did have a unification fight yesterday. Okay. We had Zurdo. We had a couple good fights yesterday. We actually had Zurdo. We had William Cepeda. We had that was a good fight. I'm gonna get into that. The William Cepeda and Tevin Farmer was a good fight. Barbosa and Ramirez was a good fight. And of course, Zurdo and Smith was a good fight for the unification. That's not even including, of course, the Mike Tyson fight, which it's kind of crazy now that fight is past. What people are saying. I'll tell you what, man, this weekend was a perfect example of how like many people can see the same thing but have a different outcome, or see the same thing and view it different, and I guess that's not just part of boxing. I guess that's with life in general, because like we all saw the same thing, and it's just kind of crazy how we could all see the same thing, but then like the person next to you, like when you ask them what happened, it's like it's totally different than what you saw, and you're like, bro, I saw the same thing, but it's because different things stick out to a person. Something interesting about Jake Paul that I was actually looking up earlier about Jake, and I found it kind of interesting was there's this guy, I gotta find his channel, but his whole thing is he's like a detective almost. Not like an actual detective, but he actually like finds stuff on people, right? And he did this documentary about about Mike Tyson. He did one on Mike, and he did one on Jake, and this was like a month before the fight even happened. And I find it interesting because what this guy does is he goes around because we have like the Freedom of Information Act, I think is what it's called. So like So technically, I don't know if that was like after 9/11 or something, but technically, if you want to get like files on anybody for any crime or anything like that, like you just gotta, we're allowed to. It's like open transparency, right? The government can't hide things from you. So like, if you really want to like,
I didn't understand that.
See, I don't know why. See, I don't like that. It's kind of weird. I'm talking about the government, and then that happens. That's just weird as hell, bro. So yeah, you could like get files and stuff and just pay for it, and just say, hey, I want to know what happened in this case or whatever. So long story short, this guy done bought like all these files. Like apparently Jake Paul's been involved in a lot of shady shit that I wasn't even aware of. The FBI raided his house back in 2020. A girl that was at a party with him went missing. Did you guys notice? I didn't know any of this shit. I didn't know any of this. And I'm watching this and I'm like, wow, like Jake Paul's been involved in like a lot of shady stuff. He so apparently he had his mansion raided in 2019 for numerous things, right? It wasn't just one thing. But apparently they were watching him because he was into cryptocurrency and he was like the FBI. I found all that, bro. I gotta find this guy's channel. I gotta find this. Yeah, crypto scams. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Crypto scams. Yo, it was very weird to me. I was like, I didn't know any of this shit about Jake. I didn't know none of it. But he was into cryptos, and this is before boxing. Like this is before he did this whole boxing thing. And I'm watching this guy, and this guy, you know what? I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna put his link in the chat. But yeah, bro, like. So even before he got into boxing, he was doing all these crypto things. And he also had like, so he had this mansion and I forgot what he called it. There was like a name for it, but he took content creators and he put them all in the same house. And I guess he had like this vision of like, I guess making money or whatever. But apparently the people that lived in the house accused him of all types of things. Physical abuse, mental abuse, keeping information on him, almost like what Diddy was doing, almost like keeping videotapes, conversations, stuff about like dirt on people. So this way, if they ever tried to say anything against him, he would have ammunition. And I'm watching this, and this is before Jake even got into boxing. So then I find out that in 2019, 2020, the FBI raids his mansion. And they raided his mansion after some riots happened at a mall or something. He was at a mall. I don't know if he had anything to do with it, but apparently that made them go to his mansion. And then apparently, yeah, wasn't he in Disney too? But yo, what was weird is when I found out that girl went missing at his party. Did you hear about that? So I'm watching this and I'm like, damn, Jake's been involved in a lot of shady stuff. So then I'm thinking about the mic thing, right? So apparently this guy says that he could show that leading up to not the Tyson fight, but the Tommy Fury fight. I think it's the Tommy Fury fight. The guy said that a lot of like accounts were made involving money for bets. And this is why it starts to add up to me, because a lot of people look at the Tyson thing and they think something's off. Now, me personally, I think the only thing that was kind of like fake is that I feel like Jake could have actually, if he wanted to, I think he could have hurt Mike. There's a lot of people who really think that Mike was like, I don't know, purposely not fighting. I don't know whether that's true or not. I can tell you like this. If that's true, he's a good actor because he looked like he was just old and out of breath and his legs. I mean, I don't know how you could fake that. You know what I mean? Because that like he literally looked like his legs weren't there, bro. He literally looked like he wasn't breathing. You know, I mean, maybe he could fake it. I don't know. But the only thing that looked like it was like kind of like held back to me was Jake not knocking him out. You know, but other than that, like I found, hey, what's going on, Iceman? I found like a lot of that stuff interesting. And so he's been on the radar for a whole bunch of like crooked stuff, man. Cryptocurrency, a girl went missing at his mansion, FBI raided Jake's house, And I'm looking all that. And then the guy also got a document. He's also got a documentary on Mike too. This is all about a month before the fight. And I just found this interesting. I mean, I don't understand how this shit is like not illegal though. I don't understand how it's not illegal. Like that should be clearly illegal. Cause you got, I mean, it's kind of sad too. I feel bad for the people that don't know boxing because there's people that really bet, bro, thinking Mike was gonna knock him out, bro. And I look at that, it's just kind of sad, man. But yeah, man, I'm gonna find the link to that channel. And I just found it interesting. There's a lot of things about Jake in there that I didn't even know about, bro. And I thought I remembered the FBI raiding his mansion, but yeah, they raided his mansion. A girl went missing at a party last seen with Jake. All types of crazy stuff, man. Crypto scams, and I'm like, oh, but now I'm seeing all these people with the scams with the whole Tyson thing, right? In a way, it was a scam, but to me, I already had a Netflix subscription, right? So let me ask you, if you had a Netflix subscription already, like how were you? You know what I mean? It's not like it was a pay-per-view. Like I didn't have to go out of my way to buy anything. I already had Netflix. So if anything, if there's any scams going on, it's like what you're saying. It has to do with the odds and the betting more so than us, the fans. You know, I still enjoyed the card. What's going on? I still enjoyed the card, and the whole world Netflix, the whole Netflix was bumping all over the world. They said, bro, it was bumping all over the world. But before I get to the Mike thing, I want to cover just yesterday real quick. There was some good fights yesterday, by the way. Zurdo became unified, right? In a good fight against Smith. That was a very good fight. The beginning of the fight, I feel like Smith was probably the more busier fighter, landing the more cleaner punches. As the fight went down, as the fight got later on in the round, Zurdo actually turned on which kind of surprised me because who did Zurdo fight a while back where I was very disappointed with him? I don't know if it was Bibble. I don't know if it was Better Beef. He had like a unification. And he just did horrible. It was one-sided. I feel like he didn't even try. And ever since then, like, I ain't gonna lie, like I kind of like every time I heard he was fighting, I'm like, you know, like once I see a person, like if I feel like a person doesn't put enough effort in, it really affects me in the way of me wanting to watch them again. And but he did good. He did good yesterday, because he pushed the action when he had to push the action, and then even in that last round, he was clearly landing the more effective punching, and he was clearly the aggressor. So Zurdo, you know, definitely won that fight. You know, he's now unified or whatever. Cepeda. Oh, wait, before I get to Cepeda, Ramirez and what's his name? Barboza. Okay. I've never been big on Barboza, bro. All right. He's always been a straight up and down fighter to me. You know, no special effects, just straight up. He did show against Ramirez. Mind you, this is against Ramirez, though. You know, I think, you know, Ramirez is a one-way fighter. You know what you're going to get. You're never going to get a fight where you don't know what Jose Ramirez is going to do. I've never seen any fight where this guy is like trying to be technically sound and utilizing the ring. It's just pressure, come forward. Nonetheless, I got to give Barboza credit, bro. He did show me, right, that he's got some technical skill to him. He's got, I mean, it ain't, you know, I still look at him like, I still think he's overrated. But he definitely beat Jose, and he showed that he's got some technical skills, you know. Cepeda, by the way, Cepeda versus Tevin Farmer. Hey, let me tell you something, man. I feel bad for Tevin Farmer. I really do. I feel kind of bad for Tevin Farmer. This guy is always in close ass fights, bro. Tevin, he's always in close fights. It's like, I'm not going to say he gets robbed. I'm not going to say that because I think he lost the fight, but it was close. It was close. And he dropped Cepeda. He dropped William Cepeda. And by the way, I feel like this is a good thing. I feel like when fighters struggle and they get dropped, I feel like it's a good thing. And I feel like, you know, I don't know, man. I look at things differently. If a person struggles and gets dropped, people are quick to run to the internet and say, he's exposed. This guy, bro, I don't look at it like that. I don't look at it like that. If you get dropped and you get up and you win, to me, it's a testament to what type of fighter you are and character that you have. You were able to overcome getting dropped, getting hurt, getting stunned, whatever. To me, I've always said, bro, if I saw a fight where you completely one-way dominated a guy, right? You show no holes in your offense, absolutely none. You dominated the guy from round 1 to round, let's say it's a 10-round fight. Round 1, round 10, you dominate the guy 100%, right? To me, watching you in a fight where you get dropped in the 3rd round, you get hurt, or you get stunned multiple times, and you're able to collect yourself, go back to the corner, come back and win. To me, you showed me more in that fight than you did in the fight where you were just dominating, because I don't know how you act when you get hit. I don't know. You see what I'm saying? So like with Abdullah Mason, I understand why Abdullah Mason, people were saying what they were saying, but do you understand? Like, I know what Abdullah's going to do now if he gets hurt. You see what I'm saying? Like, I know he's dangerous now, and he got dropped twice in 1 round. Not once, but twice. And he got rocked like 3 times. So, yeah, it showed that he's got holes in his defense. He's susceptible to left hands and a straight overhand right. But at the same time, it also showed you that this kid, you know, he's got heart, he's got resiliency, and he's able to get right back on his game plan after getting dropped. It shows me a lot more than if he just went in there and blew the kid out. So when I look at William Cepeda getting dropped, I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing because any aura, like Boots, for instance, I said this about Boots, man. You know, people were talking about Boots and talking about, you know, Boots is overrated and stuff like that. And I'm looking at it like, you know what? I'm a Boots fan. I've always been a Boots fan. But you know what? Technically, according to the definition of overrated, yeah, he is overrated. But I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing because any aura that the guy has of being a boogeyman is taken away. But when you have that aura, I don't know, for some reason, I don't think fighters are scared of each other, but for some reason, the public likes to name people boogeymen and shit, like, you know what I mean? And it's almost like they make it seem like people are scared to fight this guy, right? So when I see someone with vulnerability getting hurt and dropped, it's a good thing to me because now it takes that bro, now you realize a wake-up call, bro. Dude is human, bro. So maybe if there is a fighter that was hesitant, maybe he's looking at that now like, oh, that's food. Well, that's good for us. And now we get to get fights. You know, William Cepeda has been damn near perfect as far in his fights, as far as like how he looks. And seeing him get hurt and get dropped and come back is impressive. And now you saw what happened, right? Now, of course, when Shakur says something, I'm inclined to like not believe I don't dislike Shakur. What I'm saying is like whenever he says anything on Twitter, I'm sorry. I don't really believe anything until I see it. But of course, the first thing he tweets out is he's food. He's food. Of course you're going to say that. So good. Maybe you'll fight him now. Maybe there's no problem now. Now there should be no issue. Y'all should fight. That's how I look at it. It's just fun saying what? That somebody is exposed? What do you mean saying Iceman? It's fun saying what? While you're writing the answer, let me I wanted to check out one of the hold on 1 second real quick. Let me see here. I'm trying to find this article where they were talking about boogeyman. Okay, that was just an example, bro. It's just an example. I mean, I just think that I don't think it's a bad thing. Of course, bro. Listen, you're gonna have people that's gonna say William Cepeda is exposed. You're gonna have people say that, bro. It is what it is. And by the way, I've noticed too. Also, another thing too. Wait, what is this guy saying? Oh, we were talking about him on a live a couple weeks ago. Isn't he the one? He only got like 11 fights, right? 10 or 11 fights, something like that. Or is this the right guy? Is the right guy we're talking about here? Hold on. I don't want to spend too much time on him, but let me see. Is this the guy we were talking about? Yeah. We talked about him for a little bit. Yeah. You know, as far as I'm gonna get to actually fighters in Puerto Rico real quick, because I did want to in a little bit. I do want to touch on Amanda Serrano. You know, I feel like a lot of people. I feel like there's a mixed bag reaction with that fight, and I did want to talk on that. But just real quick, so I went through the Zurdo real quick. Zurdo, Unified, Barboza. He did well against Ramirez, so I'm not gonna shit on Barboza. I'm just never been big on him. Tevin Farmer, by the way, bro, this guy is always in close ass fights, and it's honestly because he's got great vision. He's able to see this way, this way, this way. He's able to see everything. And the dude is actually offensively sound, bro. He's very offensively sound, and it's just his fights have been close, you know. And man, he's got, like, when you look at Tevin Farmer and you see he's got like 7-8 losses, you probably think in your head like, oh, he's just a regular journeyman. He's really not, because the fights that he loses is so razor close, bro. You see what I'm saying? It's like you could honestly go back to some of his losses and say he won. His record is very deceiving. You know what I mean? It's very deceiving when you look at Tevin Farmer. And I honestly think that's why he finds himself in tough fight. That's why I feel like his opponents find themselves in very tough fights, because I think they overlook Tevin. I think they look at him and they go, oh, look, there goes Tevin. He's over the hill. He's got 7 losses, 6, you know what I mean? And then you hop in there and you realize you're dealing with a dude who's like, oh, most of his losses are razor thin, and he's really good. And I think that's what kind of what would happen with Cepeda. I will say this about Cepeda's style. I will say this. His style, as you get older, is going to be hard to keep up. Cepeda's style. You see what I'm saying? I wonder what he's going to do as he gets older and starts slowing down. His style is strictly pressure, but in a smart way. He's not like reckless pressure, but that style is more suited for somebody who's able to throw that amount of punches. I don't know what he's going to do when he gets older, but he's going to have to switch up or do something. I don't think he could withstand that for long periods of time. But him versus Shakur, I think that's a good fight, because I feel like he's going to chase Shakur. That's what we need in Shakur. We need someone to take it to Shakur. Because if you're hesitant or whatever, Shakur is just going to outpoint you, bro. But if you put pressure on him, I want to see that. I want to see that. And I feel like someone like William Cepeda is nonstop is going to come forward against, he's going to force Shakur to fight him. At some point, he's going to have to fight him. And you know, it's not a bad fight. It's not a bad fight at all. I just want to see more action from Shakur instead of talking. But nonetheless, yesterday's card was okay. It was all right. It was a good card to have, like, following up from Mike, you know. Now, speaking of Mike, going back to what happened on Saturday. Let me start with Shushu Carrington. He's good, but the kid is not really that exciting. However, I don't know if you noticed this, but when the kid wants to, like, hurt you or come forward, he is exciting. He is exciting. Listen, being exciting is important when I say that, because yes, winning is important. But if nobody's really catching an eye on you, it really defeats the purpose. It really does. Because boxing is, as much as people want to, you know, boxing is entertainment and people are watching you, bro. So if you are very boring and you win fights, yeah, okay, you're winning fights. Maybe that's your legacy, but people aren't going to remember you, bro. People are going to be like, who's that guy Shadow? Oh, who? Just he ain't knocked nobody out. He wasn't exciting. You see what I'm saying? At least fighters that don't have a lot of knockouts, like Sweepy or whatever, they had an art to them that was like, it stuck out. And when it comes to Shushu, I think that kid is kind of good, but he just needs to actually. I just think he just needs to be more aggressive. He doesn't have like he's not in the same boat as Shakur. Shakur needs to be super aggressive, but Shushu just needs to be a little bit more aggressive. That's it. Barrios. Mario Barrios, man. How do I say this without being disrespectful? Because I don't want to shit on Barrios, because the truth of the matter is Barrios doesn't duck anybody. I like fighters like that don't duck anybody, but I'm always brutally honest as well. I'm gonna be brutally honest. Barrios, no matter what weight class he's in, and I don't know if you see it this way. So he was a champion at 140, and he's a champion now at 147. Am I correct? He was champion at 140, right? Because if I'm correct me if I'm wrong. Tank moved up to fight him, right? And he was one of the, I believe so. I believe Barrios was one of the champions at 140. And I remember at that time, people realized that Tank moved up and fought Barrios. But at that time, Barrios was what? I mean, in my opinion, he was the weaker of all the champions that was up there at that time. That's how I saw it. There were four champions up there. Barrios was the weakest. He was not tested as much. He was undefeated. But as far as like being hesitant to fight him, like if you wanted to fight anybody in those four, he was the one. I feel the same way at 147. He's a champion at 147, but I feel like he's the weakest of champions. I'm not trying to disrespect him because I think Barrios has heart. I think Barrios has gotten better since his losses, but it's just the truth, bro. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, this is just my brutal opinion of the guy. I feel like right now at 147, Stanionis is better than him. Boots is better than him. I just think that he's just always the weakest champion, but that sounds disrespectful, don't it? I mean, he won, bro. He won. He got dropped. He was hurt. He dropped Ramos too, by the way. It was a good fight, and it actually laid the foundation for what was to come with Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. Before I get into this, let me make this clear, bro. Like, when I say community, right, I just mean boxing channels, because believe it or not, technically that is the definition of a community. We don't have to talk to each other. You see what I'm saying? You have a boxing channel like we don't have to talk to. We're still in the same community. We talk about the same things. Okay, so that's what I mean. I notice in this, I say it all the time, bro. You damned if you do, you damned if you don't. And what I mean by that is this. If I sit here and I tell you that I disagree with the decision, right? And I spend, I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour trying to break down why I feel like the person that lost should have won. You get a response like, this motherfucker's crying. This motherfucker can't handle, but like, right? It's bitching. It's complaining. It's crying, right? But then flip it around. If I just say, I think the person that lost really should have won, and I don't say nothing, they're gonna be like, casual can't even break it down. He can't even break it down. What? To explain to us why, Shadow. You see what I'm saying? You damned if you do, you damned if you don't. So just pick one and go with it. Just know, no matter what, somebody's gonna fucking hate your opinion. They're gonna hate what you're saying. I've noticed that shit, bro. You can't make everybody happy. With Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor, I saw the first fight, bro. All right. I feel like in the bottom of my heart that I'm very fair. Yes. If there's a fighter that I like and a fighter that I'm going for, I actually have a formula, and I actually still have it right here, actually. These are the rounds I gave to Amanda. I was circling them. I have a formula when I'm scoring a fight. Because if it's a fighter that I like and I'm going for, usually what I'll do is this. If it's a close contested fight, we're going to have a lot of swing rounds. It's a round where you can give it to either one, right? So what I do is this. a clear round, whoever wins, I give it to that person, right? First swing round that I see, if I see it's a swing round, I give it immediately to the fighter that I'm favoring. That's what I do. The following swing round, I automatically give it to the other. That's how I score my fights. So whoever wins clearly that round, I give it to that person. I'm just fair. That's how it is. If it's a swing round, 50-50, the first one, I give it to the fighter that I like. My biasness comes out. I'm going to give it to them. But if there's a swing round right after that, by default, it goes to the opposite person. That's how I score my fights. That's how I keep it fair. Because we all have biasness. I don't care what anybody says, bro. They can yell it to the top of their lungs, bro, that they're not biased. Everyone is biased in some aspect, bro. It's actually impossible, by the way. Bias is just something that you like, bro. You like more than the other. You like vanilla more than chocolate, you biased, bro. You like vanilla more than chocolate. It's just, that's it. It is what it is. You like some fighters more than others. Maybe it's the style. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you're racist. I don't know. Maybe you think the person's ugly. I don't know. I'm not in your head. But I do know one thing. We all have some sort of biasness in us. Okay? And that's how I get through my biasness. First swing round, I automatically give it to the fighter that I like. The following swing round, by default, goes to the opponent. Okay? When I first saw the first fight with Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor, I understood why they gave it to Katie. I did. I gave it to Katie. I remember HOD came on my channel that day or the day after and was like, "Oh, you know, I feel like they robbed Amanda." And I remember I was telling him, "Nah, brother, like I don't think so. Like I see why they gave it to Katie." And the reason why I feel like they gave that first fight to Katie, and by the way, I feel like Amanda was doing the same thing. I got on Amanda. I did. And I'm going to tell you what the issue that I had with Amanda is. But in the first fight, long story short, I gave it to Katie, bro. All right? This fight. I'm not going to say robbery because in my opinion, a robbery is when somebody clearly wins. It's not even a debate. You know who wins. They gave it to the other person. That's a robbery in my opinion. The reason why I'm calling it a robbery, but not in that sense. Not in that sense. And that's the only reason why I'm spending time breaking this down. Because if I don't, I feel like it's going to be misinterpreted with what I'm saying. With everything given, with what happened in the first fight and the second fight, I do feel like there was sort of a robbery. So let me explain. The first fight, I gave it to Katie. This fight right here, there's just a lot of things that just point to, in my opinion, that I feel like, okay, first of all, when the fight first started, Amanda was catching Katie. It was hurting her, okay? Could have finished her in the first round. Doesn't matter here nor there. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? Punch stats don't always tell the story. We know that, right? You can't just go off punch stats. Why? If I land 50 punches and you land 20, right? I mean, how do you know? 40 of my 50 could be pity pat punches. 10 of your 20 could be power punches. You could have dropped me twice, right? So CompuBox doesn't always tell the story, but it gives you some insight, does it not? According to the CompuBox numbers, right? Amanda threw over 200 something punches more. Oh, this is Tyson, by the way. I'm sorry. She threw over 200 something punches more than Katie and landed over 125 punches, around 125 punches more. So we know a lot of them weren't pity pats. How do we know? You can clearly see the beginning of the fight. Katie was getting rocked with a lot of shots. She would have been fit if that first round would have went longer. She was in trouble, right? So yeah, CompuBox doesn't always tell the story, but in this case, we're not talking about 20 punches more, not even 50 punches more, bro. We're talking 100, almost 130 punches landed more, almost 200 punches more thrown. Also, according to CompuBox numbers, Amanda Serrano's 324 landed punches are the most by a female fighter in CompuBox history. Now, I don't know whether they're talking about 2 or 3 rounds or they're talking about the whole fight, but she broke a record on top of that. Now, adding to the fact that she had a cut. and a cut was deducted from Katie. By that alone, bro, I'm watching the fight. I saw the same thing happen that happened in the first fight. This is what I don't like about Amanda, because I'm gonna criticize her, bro. Amanda has to have some fault. I'm not blind. I don't dick ride. I don't make excuses for people. Okay. The reason why Amanda lost this fight is a combination of things. But I also want to say that I do feel like Katie was fighting dirty, but I don't know if she was doing it on purpose or not. I don't know if she was doing it on purpose. But I do know that she has a habit of having headbutts in her fights. And if you go to the video that I made yesterday, there's a short clip of where you purposely see her ramming her head into Amanda. She's not doing that by mistake. You can clearly see it. So you got that too, right? What I didn't like about Amanda is, I've always said this about Amanda. I feel like Amanda really needs to work on her defense, bro. She really does. And I was trying to, HOD was going back and forth with me. I'm like, bro, it is what it is, bro. She has heart. She has all the heart in the world. And what she does is she gets into these exchanges, but she neglects the block. She neglects the block. So therefore, as the fight goes on, she's getting tired and she's getting caught more. And Katie is racking up points. Not only is Katie racking up points, but Katie is also, it seems like Katie, the same thing happened. It seemed like Katie gains power as the fight goes on. It seems like Serrano has power in the beginning, but fades. It's the same exact thing almost happened it's like they literally, the second fight, it was like the 13th round. They just went right back to how they were in the first fight. Amanda has power in the beginning and then she fades. It was even worse this time with the headbutt, but Amanda faded later on in the fight this time, where I feel like in the first fight, she faded early. Like she gassed herself out. And then what happens is she has so much heart. She's always throwing punches, but she's not blocking. So I feel like that's where Katie racks up the punches, because I feel like I don't know. I feel like Amanda really needs to work on her defense, bro. But all things considered, also, I took a look at the scorecard. Shout out to HLD. We're looking at the scorecards. There's a whole bunch of whiteout on there. Whiteout, mistakes, and all this type of stuff. And when we actually looked into it, because we were looking into it, right? It looks like they were manipulated to that way. They all add up to 95-94. All three judges had it 95-94, which is kind of crazy because there's always that one judge that we notice just outlandish. But no, not this one. In a fight where the CompuBox numbers really say otherwise, not just they really say otherwise. And a point was taken off. And, you know, Katie was rocking. It just, I'm sorry, bro. I gave the first fight to Katie. I'm being as fair as I can. I look at the rounds that I gave to Amanda. And if anyone says that my scorecard is crazy, then you're calling the judges' scorecards crazy. Because every round that I gave to Amanda, I even checked it against the scorecards. Every round I gave to Amanda, at least one judge gave her that round. So let's say if I give her round 4, at least one judge gave her round 4, sometimes 2. Obviously, not all 3, or she would have won. So if you disagree with what I'm saying, then you disagree with the judges' scorecards as well. I gave Amanda 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, and 10. You got to take into account the point deduction. Was it a robbery? I ain't gonna go as far to say that, like, because I could see how somebody could look at it and go, it's a close fight. And to me, that's not my definition of robbery. The only reason why I'm calling it a robbery is because I feel like, given how close the first fight was and given how close this fight was, I feel like just they could have gave it to Amanda. It would have set up the third fight more easily. Why not? And also, I feel like there's just more evidence for Amanda. And it doesn't matter what I say, because people are going to say, you're crying, you're bitching, whatever. At least I could break my shit down. How about that? At least I could break down why the fuck I say what I say. I don't just come up in here. I don't just come up in here and go, I disagree with you. Suck my dick, eat a dick. I don't do that. I don't do that. To me, that's you're ignorant. You're showing that your IQ is low. If you disagree, you break it down. That's what a boxing fan does. That's what we do, is it not? Is that not what we do? I'm clearly explaining to you why I think differently. I gave the first fight to Katie, bro. I think Amanda won that fight. It is what it is. And finally, one last thing. No, I'm not saying this because it's the next day or something like that. I'm not, because you could actually see how shocked I am during the live. Yo, Katie looked like she on testosterone boosters and everything. Amanda, baby. Amanda Serrano. What the fuck? Yo, what the fuck? Oh my, no, they did not just do that to her, bro. No, they didn't just do that to her. They did that to her. Oh my goodness, bro. Come on, man. Damn. I mean, the punch stats don't say everything, but damn. 324 to 217. I gave Katie the later rounds because the later rounds, Amanda was slowing down. She was getting hit way too much. And Amanda needs to work on that. Like, she does not block for nothing, bro. I don't know what it is, but Amanda does not block. And it's a problem that I've seen. Like, she literally gets to this point where you see how I'm also going at Amanda. How fair can one get? How fair can one get, bro? I get disgusted with, you know what it is? I get disgusted with a lot of channels. I do. Because I feel like it's so hard for people to just be 100%. And I do feel like some channels they disagree, not because they disagree because of the person that disagrees with them. So for instance, like if the Boxing Voice thinks somebody won, because I don't like the Boxing Voice, I'm gonna go, fuck the Boxing Voice. I think differently. That's what I see a lot here. It's not like just being real. It gets tiring after a while, bro. It gets tiring after a while. I look at it like this, bro. These people put their lives into this sport, bro. They put their lives and dedication into this shit, man. You know, whether I like someone or not, I'm going to tell you who I think won, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay. Is that how you break it down? Stop the cap. She lost. Okay. How? What rounds did you give her? Can you break it down? Here you go. I know I've been through this 1,000 times. We know what's going to happen here. Watch what's going to happen here, y'all. We know how this works. He's just going to type, stop the cap, eat a dick. I know. But I could break it down, my guy. I'm not saying it wasn't close, bro. I'm giving you why I think Amanda won. All right. I think she won, bro. If it wasn't for the point deduction, bro, if the point deduction didn't happen, I'd be more inclined to think that, okay, I could understand. Given everything, given the CompuBox, given the cut, given how she rocked her early, the first fight I gave it to Katie, bro. It is what it is. You saw my natural reaction. Yo, that's the crazy thing. This is what's so funny about you, bro. I literally just showed you how I reacted live. So you know I'm not lying to you, right? I'm not on here fabricating anything. I literally showed you the rounds that I circled. I broke down everything, and I even showed you my reaction live. And your answer is stop the cap. How the fuck am I capping? That's what I believe. That's what I saw. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? What is wrong with y'all, bro? This shit, bro, you can't make this shit up, bro. This shit never get old, bro. There were people, and there was a couple of people in my live that thought that it was really close. What was it? Jonathan Ramirez was fair. He was like, hey, look, I didn't score it. But right after that happened, a lot of people were flooding into my live like, oh, man, they got robbed. And I'm like, I'm not going to say robbed, because to me, my definition of robbed is different. My definition, like Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield won, that's a robbery, because clearly Lennox won almost every round. So when they gave it, was it a draw or was it they gave it to Evander or something like that? It was outlandish, bro. All right, the whole world knows that Lennox Lewis won that fight. This is a little bit different because as much as I want to make a case for it, it was still close. And as you saw, I criticized Amanda. I do think she needs to work on her defense. I do think that's the reason why she lost or they gave it to her again, is because she neglects to block. She really needs to work on her defense, bro. That's just my opinion, but I do think that she won that fight, bro. I do think that she won that fight. Yeah, look, Top Rank, their contract ends in 2025, man. And yo, Netflix would be perfect. Why not? The only thing I didn't like was the buffering. They should have, first off, they should have anticipated that millions of people were going to be watching on that app. They should have anticipated it. You know what I mean? Was your guys buffering too? Mine's buffered like a couple of times. And what I had to do is I literally logged off on my TV and I went on my PS5. And when it buffered on there, I went back on my TV. That's the only way I was combating it. But yeah, people were even texting me saying, yo, is your Netflix buffering? I'm like, yeah. And then I looked it up and actually all around the world, it was buffering. So I think it was a test to kind of like to see how it would go. Look, Top Rank's got to go somewhere in 2025, in August. And I think Todd DeBow, I think his name is, he said they're still in talks with them, but he says, to be honest, more than likely, they're not going to re-sign with ESPN. So that means we will be losing the last network, the last of the dying breed. We had HBO, then we had Showtime, and the last one standing was ESPN as far as networks go. And if we lose ESPN, the only thing is like these apps are 50-50, bro. They're 50-50 in the way that they are. First off, DAZN has struggled. When they first came out, DAZN was struggling. You know, how do we know DAZN was struggling? Because when it first came out, they said they would never charge us for a pay-per-view. And then they ended up charging us for pay-per-views. That's a sign that they're not making money. And they need to, even though you're already subscribed, they're still asking you for money. So, but DAZN has worked out, right? For the most part. PBC, on the other hand, PBC got a contract with Amazon, but they only put on 4 events this year. And the events that they put on was for their money makers, Canelo, Tank, and of course they opened up with Tim Tszyu, and they had another free one with Tim Tszyu and Bakram. How many fighters is in PBC, yo? A lot. And how many fighters didn't fight this year? Which means they didn't get paid this year. So that's not a good sign. So that's why when I think of Top Rank, not next year, August 2025, if they don't resign with ESPN, bro, they got to go somewhere. That's what Todd DeBow was saying. He said that either 3 choices, the way he was making it seem like. Number 1, they're still in talks with ESPN. I just hope they just resign with ESPN. Make the shit easy as a boxing fan. 2, he said they're looking into a merger with DAZN, which would be perfect, bro. Perfect. I don't know how that's going to work out, but I guess apparently Bob Arum would be easier to work with, I guess, going over to DAZN. Or he mentioned Netflix at the time. He said Mike and Jake is coming up. He was like, let's see how that goes. So Netflix is good too. But you saw what happened with Amazon and PBC. It doesn't look like it went well. At least that's what it looks like to me. There's so many fighters on PBC, bro, or under that roster or with Al Heyman that did not fight this year, bro. That means they didn't get paid. And in the long run, it's going to affect us. And not only that, but I was thinking about how this really affects boxing. So think about it. If a guy is ranked number, 5, 4, let's say PBC got a couple of dudes that's ranked like, let's say WBA. Let's say WBA. Let's say they got a couple of dudes in the first top 10, right? Well, these guys ain't fighting. So it's affecting the rankings as well. But we all know rankings don't mean shit anyway, because they can manipulate the rankings just like they somehow got Earl Spence ranked #1 at 154. He never fought 154 a day in his life, not that I know of. Maybe early in his career, but at the end of the day, like it does affect everything, you know. So I look, man. I'm a boxing fan first and foremost, bro. Y'all should know me, bro. Like I try to be as fair as I can. It doesn't matter what the fuck I say, because you're gonna have people that's always gonna disagree with me, say I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, even though I break shit down very clearly to some of these motherfuckers, bro. And I can't stand these dudes that come out here and say eat a dick, suck a dick, this and that, but you can't break a motherfucking thing down for your life. Stupid. Can't stand some of y'all, bro. Grow the fuck up, man. I mean, I can't expect much for people that won't even hop on a link. So what the fuck? What's going on? Let me see. I mean, look, man, at the end of the day, us not paying for shit is gonna affect. I mean, yo, I understand people got money issues. I don't pay for every pay-per-view. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. All right. I'm not one of these dudes that pay for every pay-per-view. No, I'm not gonna lie to you. But I do at least try to pay for a couple of pay-per-views a year. I try to, bro, because I do understand that in the long run, if everyone just keeps stealing shit, it's gonna affect. It's, you know, there's nothing we could do because people are gonna. I don't blame you at the end of the day. Listen, if motherfuckers lie to you, look, let's be honest. If you can get the fight for free and not pay, come on now. What are you gonna do? You're gonna choose to pay the fight when you can get it for free, when that money can go to your family or food? I don't blame you, bro. Like, you know, anyone that tells you different, tell them it is what it is. We all got finances and shit. I'm saying me, I try to pay for a pay-per-view here or there. I try to. But I don't pay for everyone. In fact, when PBC was throwing on pay-per-views every other month with shit like Hellenius or Wilder, things that I don't think were pay-per-view worthy, I was not buying them. No way in the world was I buying them. Hell no. You're not even giving me a pay-per-view worthy event, let alone you want me to pay $60, $70 for it. So, but like I said, Top Rank needs to go somewhere next year, bro. They do. Maybe the best thing they could do is re-sign with ESPN, but if they don't, I'm guessing either a DAZN merger, or Netflix, something like Netflix. I don't think Amazon, bro, because I don't know. Maybe PBC is different because they run their structure differently, but we saw what happened with PBC. There's a lot of fighters that didn't fight this year, bro. So they were literally talking about this the other day in an article. They said that they're pretty sure something. A lot of these fighters are going to be leaving soon because they got to fight. They got to get paid, and they're not getting paid. They're not fighting. You know, and it affects the rankings too, by the way. Well, you know, another thing too is you got people looking at this whole Jake Paul thing. Like I said, when I started for y'all that didn't catch it when I first started, you know, a lot of people really believe like the whole thing was a scam, right? And whether you do or not, I was watching this channel and I forgot I gotta find it, bro. This dude, he calls himself like something sort of detective. And what he does is he looks into people and he pays for information. So, like, for instance, if I was involved in a case, because of the Freedom of Information Act, people can get my name and pay a fee, and they got to give you the case notes on the case, whether it was dropped or not, because it's a Freedom of Information Act. It's so transparency, right? So this dude went and looked at everything with Jake Paul. And he's just breaking down, man, a lot of cryptocurrency things and offshore accounts. And the FBI raided his house in 2019. A girl went missing from a mansion. She's never been seen again. A whole bunch of shady shit with Jake, bro. And around the time that he started his boxing career is around the time that the Fed started like paying attention to him. So look, at the end of the day, I looking at it, I think Jake was holding back. I don't know about Tyson faking though. Tyson just looked old to me, man. He just looked old to me. Whether he was faking or not, look, we got good fights on the undercard, but I mean, I said that the night before. The night before on my stream, I said, look, man, I don't know whether it's real or not, that main event. I don't know if there's a clause in there that says Jake can't knock him out or he can't knock him out, because they do shit like that, especially the exhibition. But I was like, whether that's real or not, we still got these real fights prior, and we're not paying for it. It's not pay-per-view. It's just Netflix, you know? So to me, it was like a win-win either way. You know, Mike is instrumental to me watching boxing, bro. There's certain fighters that I don't worship any man. I don't do that, but there are certain fighters that are instrumental to me watching boxing, like Trinidad, Tyson, Evander Holyfield, man, Cesar Chavez, Roy Jones, Ike Corte, all these guys, Azuma Nelson, they're all instrumental to me watching boxing, bro. So it was sad to see Mike walk in there with a knee brace on, man, and huffing and puffing at the end of the first round and looking like he can't even breathe. This shit was kind of sad, bro. And not only that, but I think it's kind of disgusting that you put a 58-year-old man in there and you put him in there with a larger ring at that. So not only did you put an old man in there, you put a bigger ring in there so you could be more evasive. I mean, it just screams cowardness all over the place, bro. Then on top of that, by the way, earlier today or yesterday, Better Beef. I guess Better Beef doesn't like what a lot of I knew this was gonna happen. Oh, by the way, before I get into that, I'm not a huge conspiracy theorist. I'm not one of these dudes that think everything is a conspiracy. However, I do believe that conspiracies have some truth in them. Every conspiracy. And I know this for a fact. Mike was not shown in a positive light at all throughout that whole event. And there's this part where I was laughing and I made fun of it, but looking back at it, there's no way they didn't know. So I think it was in the third or fourth round of the Serrano and Katie Taylor fight. Mike is in the back getting interviewed, I think by his son. I find out now that's his son. But he's in a thong. And he gives him a kiss on the cheek and he turns around, his ass cheeks is flapping in the wind and the fucking camera pans in on his ass. And I'm cracking up, I'm laughing. But when I think about it, I'm like, there's no way they didn't know that. Like, bro, there's no way. He's standing there in his ass cheeks, bro. So somebody purposely was like, go interview that man and do that and show that. Then you look how he looked in the ring. He looked not even a shell of himself. He looked less than a shell of himself. This is Mike Tyson, bro, a name that is synonymous all over the world, bro. And that man looked negative all the way around. I cannot even think anything positive of it, bro. Even at the end of the damn event, when they asked him, do you still want to fight? He says, yeah. And then he says, I don't know, maybe Logan. He's just talking. Maybe Logan. And Logan goes, Mike, I'll fucking kill you, Mike. What? Are you serious right now? Like, bro, you could have just been like, Mike, listen, bro, chill. I don't want to fight you, Mike. No. They had to go on and say that too. Disrespect after disrespect after disrespect all night on that man, bro. That shit pissed me off, bro. I don't worship any man, but Mike is a reason why I watched boxing as a kid, bro. I don't give a fuck, bro. That shit was disrespectful. And you put the old man in there in a big ass ring so you could be more evasive. I mean, it's just pussy all the way around, bro. At the end of the day, Mike chose to go in there, and Mike made $20 million. But my whole thing is this: there's a 50-50 catch with Jake, though. There's a what they call it, 50-50 catch 2020 or a double-edged sword or some shit like that, right? The thing that I do like about Jake is that, you know, Amanda Serrano, who, by the way, I have to be honest with you, I believe, man or woman, she's the best fighter representing out of Puerto Rico right now, best known fighter in boxing. And there was a part of me that did want her to win with Katie. I do love my people as much as I say that I don't race base, but that's not the reason why I had her winning. I already broke down why. But Jake puts her on, right? Puts her name out there. He's the Katie Taylor fight. That's 2 times now, right? That made history. There's other fighters that Jake, when he fights, is getting recognition. So he is, in a way, helping out boxing in that aspect and keeping an eye, you know. But then there's like him personally. I wish he could do it without him being involved. Does that make sense? I wish he could do this without him actually being involved. Like him not fighting, just put the event on, be a promoter. Because everything is good until you come into the picture. All you do is these fights, bro, I feel like there's clauses on there where you can't lose. The one time you fought anybody with substance, you lost. Tommy Fury. So we know he ain't trying to fight nobody in his weight class. He'd get killed, bro. He'd get demolished, bro. So Jake walks around what? 175, 180. I think that's his walk around weight. Okay, so we're talking Bivol, Better Beef. Oh, come on, bro. Come on. You already know why he's not going to fight him, bro. So I'm like, okay, well, if you're going to fight someone, why don't you try fighting somebody a couple weight classes lower than you? Erickson Lubin is 154. He's not even ranked number 1. I keep bringing up Erickson Lubin because I think that's perfect. He's smaller than you. He's not number 1. So you can't, you know, so good. Why? Because Erickson Lubin would beat the brakes off someone like Jake Paul, bro. It is what it is, bro. So to me, it's a gimmick. It's a gimmick, but it kind of got me upset because I feel like regardless whether Mike took the 20 million or not, bro, you got to admit, when you look at the whole event, it just looked like they were disrespecting that man, bro. It was just like, just nothing was positive. Like I watched it again. There's nothing positive. I mean, you have real life boxers fucking mad at the end of the day, like Crawford and Tank and all these other dudes. They were like, bro, this is crazy. This is disrespectful, bro. Obviously, Better Beef took it a certain way because Better Beef is like, yo, what's up? So what does Jake say? Just seeing this, top 5, pound for pound, calling me out. Ha, 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 ha. 4 years in and I run the sport. Nowhere does he say, oh, word, you want to fight? No, of course not. Of course not. His next fight will be against fucking James Toney in a wheelchair. I mean, that's the shit he does. I mean, so you can't, you know, we can't be surprised at it. I thought about that too, man. I mean, it's like, think about it, bro. It's Netflix, okay? It's Netflix. You control what's being put on that TV. And I really thought about that. That whole thing with the whole thong thing. I mean, like, bro, that's not a mistake, bro. That's on purpose. They even zoomed in. That's humiliation. That's humiliation, bro. They're humiliating that man, and that shit got me mad, bro. I respect all greats, bro. Tyson, dog. My favorite fighter in the world was Tito Trinidad, bro. All right. My whole family represented Tito, bro. The whole island, bro. And that's like them doing some shit like that to him. It's no different, bro. My brother, my older brother, I've only seen him. I told you this. I've only seen him cry twice. My brother doesn't cry for shit. He's just not an emotional guy. He's cried 2 times. One when our mom died, and when Mike got knocked out with Buster Douglas. That's how much my brother loved Mike, bro. So I don't know, man. Maybe you don't see it the way that I do, but I see that man was humiliated. And people are going to say, but he took 20 million. Okay, bro. But you know what? Obviously, Mike doesn't even know any better. because when they asked him if he still wants to fight, the clear answer should be, nah, I'm done. I couldn't even breathe. I mean, he almost died, I think, too. He had like 8 transfusions or something like that. I mean, he's a fighter. He doesn't know any better. How many times do we have to say fighters got to save themselves from themselves, right? Because if you leave, look, Erickson Lubin, when he fought Fundora, bro, he could have died. His face looked like the Goonies, bro. The shit. And he came back and dropped Fundora, by the way. And he came back and dropped Fundora. His corner had to throw in that towel, bro. Wilder, as much people give shit about Wilder, I fucks with Wilder. He was not, bro. He was not. He was going to fight Fury, bro. He thought, obviously, I don't think he got cheated. But in his head, he thought he got cheated, bro. He thought he did. That's all that mattered. He thought he did. Whether he's listening to people or not. I don't agree with him firing Mark Breland or whatever. Hey, it's his money, whatever. But that man was like, I'm going to get it back, bro. I'm going to get it back in blood, bro. Like, you know what I mean? There's a certain, like, I respect shit like that. And you got to protect fighters from themselves, bro. And Mike didn't know any better. When they asked Mike, bro, come on, bro. And then what really was over the top is Logan Paul. He was just like, I don't know, maybe I'll fight his brother. And then Logan looks at him and goes, what? I'll fucking kill you, Mike. Like, are you serious, bro? Oh, my God, man. That shit made me want to jump through the screen and drop kick that WWE looking motherfucker, bro. That shit. That's what I just, in that aspect, I feel like they're disrespecting boxing. But on the flip side of it, he's bringing an eye to boxing. But I don't know if you saw the next morning with a lot of people like Sean Porter, Teddy. I don't like Teddy Atlas, but doesn't matter. Teddy Atlas. Who was the dude that trained Triple G? The guy that trained Triple G. A lot of Carl Froch. Just a lot of people in general. People that are like known in the sport. All of them, for the most part, were like, this made boxing look like a circus, bro. And you literally just embarrassed one of the legends. Like, the man should have never, if the fight shouldn't even have been sanctioned. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I'll tell you, man. Clarissa Shields just don't like Canelo, bro, doesn't she? She really hates Canelo, bro. I mean, damn. She, of all people, should know why Canelo shouldn't fight him. It's a lose-lose. Number one, she said, yeah, Canelo, if you think you could beat his ass, why don't you fight him? And I'm thinking in my head, like, 20 million isn't even enough to get Canelo in the ring, number one. He fought Berlanga, who's actually a professional fighter who's been fighting longer and was actually ranked number one. And that's a fight a lot of us didn't want to see, including myself. He got paid more than 20 million in that. So number one, 20 million isn't enough. Number two, they gave Canelo enough shit for not fighting David. What you think will happen if he tries to fight Jake? Oh man, I can see it now. He won't fight David, but he'll fight Jake, Nickelodeon, Disney Jake. Like, I mean, it's a lose-lose for him, bro. It's a lose-lose. As much as I would like to see him knock him out, I mean, I don't know. But look, I mean, I think, look, Better Beef don't even know, like Better Beef knows, like, I don't even think Better Beef knows in his head, like, Jake is a gimmick. I don't think he knows. You know, he's from a different part of the world. He's probably like, oh no, he did that to Mike. No, do that to me. Not realizing this kid's a gimmick, bro. He's a gimmick. He's not gonna fight nobody dangerous. And if he does, he's gonna have it in the contract to where you can't knock him out. I get it, bro. I just wish they were more transparent with that. Cause you gotta admit, the only people that kind of knew this was gonna go this way was us. Am I right or wrong? The only people that really knew that it was going to go like this is the boxing fans, because other than that, the whole other side of the world and there was all these other channels that don't even cover boxing was over here like, Mike's going to kill this man. Look at the training footage. Like, they literally had all these people thinking Mike was going to go in there and do what he used to do. Like this is Mike. from like at the early 2000s, or not even the Mike that lost to Peter McNeely. He's like a third of that. And they're on here telling you he's going to knock out Jake, and you got these people betting money. It's crazy. The only people that really saw what was going to happen was us. So that's what I mean by I feel like it should be more transparent, because that's the shit that makes it look like a circus. You can't expect everyone to follow boxing like how we do. And even the people that follow the boxing like we do, third of us don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. So let's narrow it down even further. There's dudes that watch boxing every single day, and when they speak, I'm clueless. I'm like, I'm wondering, like, is he joking? I hate to say this, bro, and I'm gonna bring it. I'm not gonna do this again, but I just need to use him as an example, because if I don't, people aren't gonna understand what I'm saying. Ellie Setback. I like Ellie Setback, bro. As far as his content, he's everywhere, right? He's always with fighters. He's dropping interviews like every other day. He's with Canelo. He's with Tank. He's everywhere, right? I remember when Tio beat Loma. He was talking to Tio outside in the parking lot. Then in the same video, he goes in and talks to Mike and Ryan. And that's when Ryan is in that suit and he's online talking about Tank. He wants to fight Tank, right? So Ellie, he's all over the place. He knows a lot of people. But when that man speaks, bro, it's like, come on. I don't understand. He was in the room with Danny Garcia, and Danny Garcia's face. Oh my God, bro, this shit was funny. He's in the room with Danny Garcia, and he goes, "Hey, Danny, who's your pound for pound best fighter in the world?" Danny goes, "Oh, pound for pound, got to be Usyk. Yeah, Usyk. Yeah, definitely the accomplishments of Usyk. You?" He said, "Tank." And Danny's face, he said, "Who?" He said, "Tank." Danny Garcia, he didn't want to say nothing bad about Tank. He was just like, okay, wait, you said pound for pound, right? Normally, that's like people that have accomplished in multiple weight classes, like, being unified or undisputed or whatever, right? So, like, we're talking Canelo, Inoue, Bam Rodriguez, Usyk, right? I mean, if you want to throw in a pound for pound heavyweight because they can't really go that far down, I guess you could do that. But he was a little bit confused. And Ellie's like, "No, Tank be knocking out heavyweights and sparring." Yeah, I'm listening and I'm like, all right, yeah, perfect example how somebody could watch boxing every day and just their take is just out there. Now, if that's what he believes, that's what he believes. Trust me, I'm pretty sure there's people that watch me. I am pretty sure. In fact, I know. There's people that watch me and really think I don't know what I'm talking about. And that's fine, because I don't claim to know it all. But I do know one thing. I'm confident when I speak, and I try to break it down. And if you disagree, then you could tell me, and I drop the link. What else do you want? What more do you want from me? I always say, you damned if you do, you damned if you don't, bro. If I went in here and I didn't break nothing down, y'all call me a casual. I still get called. Then I'm crying about it. It's like, I mean, bro, I'm at a point where it's just like, whatever, man. I don't block 2 people on my damn live the other day, because I'm just like, bro, if you're gonna start coming at me and not breaking shit down, I'm just gonna block you, bro, because then you trolling. I don't got time for, like, y'all. I don't mind trolling, but some of y'all purposely come here to disrupt what I'm doing. That's where I have a problem with you. You want to come here and disagree, that's fine. But when you come here, some of you guys are trying to disrupt what I'm doing. That's your sole purpose. Yeah, I ain't got no time for y'all. I really don't, bro. I really don't. His sister has OnlyFans? How does Danny Garcia's sister look? Is she pretty? I heard someone else bring. Oh shit, she is. I heard someone else talking about this, bro. Oh, so she's got what, an OnlyFans? Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't pay for that. Bro, I ain't paying for nothing when it comes to women, bro. You crazy? I don't even remember paying for sex, bro. Ever. Maybe once, bro. Hell out of here. There's too many women in this world for that shit. Hell no. Come on, Hawker. Come on, Hawker. You know better than that. You know better than that. It's not. He's not. My only. Oh, by the way, did you see John Jones yesterday? Did you see John Jones, bro? John Jones, how long was he gone for? I don't watch the UFC that much, but I saw the fight. And I'll tell you, man, for a guy that's like 37 years old, he's impressive. I mean, even when he's not on steroids, right? Is he not? I mean, he didn't look like I don't know. I don't follow the UFC like that, but I do follow like when a lot of the stars fight. And I saw yesterday, that was a good finish, bro. He kicked that dude right in the ribs, bro. And as soon as he gasped for air and he knocked John Jones. John Jones is fucking dangerous, man. That guy's dangerous. And then he did the Trump dance. He went like this in front of Trump. He went like, Trump was sitting right there. Trump was just clapping. That shit was funny, bro. Real quick. So I went through Zurdo, right? So I went through Zurdo. I went through Barbosa and Ramirez. I went through Tevin Farmer and Zapata, which, by the way, I still think that was a really good fight. I went through Tyson and Amanda. Broke down, right? I don't even know why I broke down Amanda, because it doesn't matter. You could spend 20 minutes and make good points, and somebody's gonna say, "Oh, he don't know what he's talking about," or he's crying. So I don't even know why I wasted my time. But I just wanted to make it clear for the people that wanted to know why, because I did give Katie the first fight, bro. And by the way, if Amanda would have won, they would have gave it to her. I feel like we would be getting a third fight like that. I don't know if we're gonna get a third fight now. Like, there's really no incentive for Amanda other than money, obviously, but to me, that was the best shot she was gonna have. For real. Because Amanda has flaws too, you know, and I was criticizing her. She really needs to. I feel like at the end of the fight, she has a stamina problem, or not a stamina problem, just her power becomes the same thing happened. Amanda's got a lot of power in the beginning and she's dangerous. And I don't know what's going on with Katie, but maybe she takes time to warm up. I don't know. And then as the fight goes on, Amanda's steam comes off. And then Katie seems to get like a second win. Almost exact carbon copy of the first fight, except the only difference is, to me, Amanda looked better and faded later in the rounds, and broke a record for thrown and landed punches, and Katie had a point taken off. So it's like, that's why. And I gave you all the rounds. Like, you see how somebody's like, stop the cap. Like, all right, bro, fine. You tell me the rounds you gave Katie then. Tell me the rounds you gave her. And by the way, there was swing rounds. There was swing rounds. So if you did have it for Katie, I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. If you gave it to Katie, then it is what it is. But it's crazy how when somebody disagrees with you, though, like, you mad at that person. Like, what you mad? That's how I saw it. Why you need to tell me stop the cap? If you think Katie won, fine. Katie won. I don't think so. So, it is what it is. Oh, yeah. Benavidez and Morrell. Yeah, I'll talk about that before I go. That's got a date now. Actually. That's got a date. Oh, yeah. You know what? I wasn't gonna say this, but you know what? I'm gonna say it now. You know, fuck it. I'm gonna say it now. I saw someone say, I go back and I look at my lives and stuff because you know I don't catch all the comments, right? Somebody made a comment, said something like, I forgot what it was, something about, said the word like sensitive or something like that. Let me make it clear. I am sensitive. And I'm going to tell you what's on my mind. Because I'm pretty sure like everybody's been through a lot of shit. Bro, I've been through shit by the age of 14 that most men don't go through in their lives, bro. So it's easy for me to talk about my flaws and be comfortable with who I am online. That's why. That's the difference. That's the difference, bro. All right. I mean, whether they troll or not, I know for a fact that there's people that they look at me and they're like, oh, why does he talk about like things that you know other people wouldn't talk about or like his life? Because it means nothing to me, bro. Like there's nothing more that can happen to me in my life, bro. That what is me telling you something? It's not gonna make anything worse, bro. Put this into perspective. My parents, the ones that are supposed to take care of me and not lie to me, lied to me. Right? My mom was in and out the hospital. They said she had kidney disease. She didn't. Then when she died, that night, my father told me the truth. And I'm like, why did you lie to me? And he says, because you're a kid. And I said, it doesn't matter. Because if I'd have known my mom was going to die, I would have wanted to spend every day with her. You lied to me. I said to my father, you lied to me. So to this day, I have trust issues because if my parents lie to me, I don't trust nobody. So then I'm mad at my pops and I'm like, I don't want to live with you. So I live with my brother. 5 years later, my brother comes to my job. I've been living with him for 5 years. Hey, you know, we got different fathers. He's like, hey, your father got hurt. I'm like, what you mean? He's dead. How'd he die? Fire. How's there an accident? No, it wasn't an accident. It was an arson. Somebody killed him. So now I lost my mom and I lost my father in the span of 5 years. So what do? I go straight to Job Corps and to the military, not because I'm gung-ho and I want to serve this country, because I was too pussy to kill myself. And I figured if I go to the fucking military, there's 2 wars going on. I'm going to die anyway. That was my mindset, bro, at 18 years old. Then I go to the military and it fucks me up even worse to now where I know I have problems with relationships and problems with how I talk to people and in business and in life and family. So I know it affected me for the rest of my life. So at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck. That's why I say what I say and I don't care and I don't hold nothing back and I am sensitive. But I'm going to tell you why I'm sensitive. I'm going to tell you how I feel. That's why I can't stand some of you motherfuckers, bro. Because some of you are straight pussies to me. That's why. So if you just wanted to know, that's why. I mean, every time they want to say something, I drop the link, but they don't come up. I don't understand. So of course I'm gonna get aggravated after a while. Because where I'm from, you know, it ain't like we gonna fight. We ain't gonna fight. You just gonna tell me something, what's on your mind, right? You can't even do that. That's why I say what I say. And trust me, I know that there's things I shouldn't be telling y'all because it's only ammunition for them. It's only ammunition for them. But at the end of the day, like I said, I've been through so much. By the time I was 18, like what? There's nothing that could be done to me, bro. The damage has already been done to me as a human being. You can't reverse any of that. So it is what it is. So go over here and so before I get out of here, Tyson. Okay, so Fury at Usyk 2, by the way. I don't know the undercard for that. I don't know the undercard. Did they release the undercard of that? I don't know. Okay, but that's on December 21st, man. That's far away. That's damn near Christmas time, bro. In a way, and Sam Goodman is on Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve. Figueroa and Fulton 2. That's interesting. By the way, like Fulton, man, man, he's different, man. I mean that in a way knockout really changed him, man. Morel and Benavidez. Okay, so February 1st, I'm gonna talk about this before I get out of here. Honestly, bro, I feel like, bro, this is that's a to me, it's as even as you can get. This is even as you can get. Cool Boy's been going through mental health problems. Yeah, that'll affect you, bro. Mental health, bro. That shit. Trust me. Your mental health could have you thinking something's physically wrong with you, bro. It could have you for real. There's been times where I was depressed or my PTSD, and I thought something was physically wrong, bro. And I go to the hospital, they do the blood work, and they're like, everything's fine, and they're like, you're stressed. Lack of sleep, being depressed, whatever, anxiety, that shit'll mess with you physically. So let alone in the ring too, as a fighter. And by the way, he got knocked out bad. He's probably embarrassed. That's another thing too. Well, a lot of these fighters got a lot of pride, bro. That one loss, like in front of everybody, like that could really affect you. And it's hard to bounce back from that. Honestly, I'm not giving Ryan a pass at all. Trust me, I'm not, bro. Ryan says the most disrespectful things, and he's like an immature kid. But I think Ryan has a lot of issues upstairs. I'm not giving him a pass, but I'm telling you, that's why I think he does what he does, bro. I think he's a loose cannon. I think he's got a lot of money, too much money, and nobody is in his corner to like tell him what is right or wrong. I think they just let him do whatever he wants, like a spoiled kid. And this is the result that you're getting. You're getting a kid that has depression, anxiety, and a lot of money. A kid that had to step away from boxing. He stepped away. He was like, yo, I can't do this no more. People laughed at him. And I just think, it's no excuse. Because that's like saying a drug person gets in the car and kills somebody, and they say, well, he's an alcoholic. Okay, that doesn't make it right. You know what I mean? Yeah, I get it. He's an alcoholic, but he still killed 2 or 3 people. So he still needs to be responsible for his actions. I'm just saying, I think a large portion of it has to do with that. I really do. Because he wasn't like that at one point. Like, you remember how Ryan used to be? Go back a couple years. Ryan was not like that, bro. Even when he had his YouTube channel, when he started off, he was not like that, bro. You go back, you look at him as a kid. There's a video of him when he's in the park with his brother. And he's shadow boxing real quick. And I don't know who's interviewing him, but he's a kid. And then there's a couple of videos of him a little bit older, like after his first couple of fights. He wasn't talking like that. It's only after he done got money and fame and came out and said he's got issues. Now he's just a loose cannon. So I don't believe anything he says. Another one who I think is affected by mental health, but he just hasn't said anything, is Shakur. I think Shakur is too. That kid, bro, you say anything. Yo, he don't even care if he don't know you. You might think I'm bad or somebody on social media is bad. It's worse for him because he's a fighter. People actually know him somewhat, right? Look how he acts when somebody says something to him. That kid fires off like if a keyboard was a bullet, man. He's emptying clips, bro. Like, everything bothers Shakur, bro. I don't know about. I mean, look, I'm not gonna say that I agree with what he's saying, but Tevin Farmer's had a lot. I mean, bro, think about it, bro. His last couple of losses, he could have won. He could have won. He probably feels everybody's against him, bro. That's what he probably feels, and he's probably, you know, because there's a couple of fights that he's lost where I was like, Tevin could have won that, bro. And his girl had to comfort him right away after the fight. You saw that, right? His girl came in, like he was about to. He looked like he was broken. He looked like he was broken. And his girl came right away to console him, like, it's all right, baby. Like, just don't let it get to you. Because she's seeing this shit over and over. It's like when Tevin Farmer loses, he loses by the skin of his teeth, bro. His record is very deceiving. He's a good fighter, too, by the way. Yeah, I think, yeah, Danny, yeah. I don't even think Danny should have fought his last fight, bro. But anyway, before I get out of here, David Benavidez and David Morrell. I'm going for Morrell. Actually, I ain't got a dog in the race. Let me take that back. I ain't got a dog in the race, but I go for the underdog a lot in a lot of situations. So I'm pretty sure Morrell's going to be the underdog just based on popularity and based on maybe his resume is a little bit better. Yeah, David's resume is better than David Morrell's. Yeah, it is. So I'll probably go for Morrell just based on him being an underdog, but that's going to be a hard fight for David because for the first time he's fighting somebody that's just as tall as him, and I think he has more reach than him too, right? I think he's taller and he has more reach, and he's the same age, if not younger, and he's a counterpuncher. Morrell is a counterpuncher, so he's gonna love the fact that David's coming forward throwing punches. Like he's a threat to David, bro. He's a threat. Just stylistically, too. Not only is he a threat stylistically bad enough, he's a threat. Because a pressure fighter, I've always said a counterpuncher beats a pressure fighter, in my opinion, because they're giving them so many opportunities to counter you because they're constantly pressuring you. Not only stylistically is he a bad matchup for him, but the age, the height, and he's got more reach, I think, too. And Morrell's from Cuba. Them Cubans, bro, they be lying on their applications and shit, bro. He probably got more fights than that. He's probably older than that. I don't know. And I know a lot of Cubans have, you know, I don't know if it's a stereotype, but, you know, they, I feel like a lot of them are seasoned. Like when they, what I mean by that is like they turn pro at a later age, but they're already seasoned. Whereas like somebody needs to turn pro and they've usually got such a good amateur extensive background that it only takes them a couple fights to get adjusted because obviously amateurs are different than pros. But I don't know. I usually see a Cuban fighter with a few fights in, he's fighting as if he's been pro for like 5 years already, you know? So yeah, David's got a lot. David Benavidez has a tough task in front of him, bro. I wonder if that fight's gonna end in knockout or not. I don't know. But I know that David Morrell is a threat. I know that. Yeah, Andy Cruz, yeah. And look, I like Keyshawn, but you know, Andy beat him 4 times in the amateurs. That speaks volumes, bro. That speaks volumes. You know? And I think Keyshawn knows that because if Keyshawn was really that confident, and you know, and I really do. I like Keyshawn more than most people because I know a lot of people don't like him because of the way he talks, and he talks a lot of shit he does, but I think he's a good fighter. But I think there's a reason why he's like, I want to fight Tank and don't ask me about no one else. Like, why would you say that? You know they're gonna ask about Andy, bro. So when he says that, it's almost like that's another way of saying like, I don't want to fight Andy. If you want to look, if you want to read between the lines, one can say that. One can say, well, he says he wants to fight Tank and don't bring up nobody else. So in a way, you're saying you don't want to fight Andy then, right? I mean, you're not physically saying that. That's what I'm getting out of it. Yeah, he's on live saying, I only want to fight the light-skinned guy, Tank. Let me make it clear to you. I only want to fight Tank Davis. Don't ask me about no other fighter. Well, why are you even saying that? Why are you saying don't ask me about, because you know they're going to ask you about Andy. That's why. They're not going to ask you about Shakur. We know you're not going to fight Shakur. Who else they going to ask you about? Tio? Tio's at 140. So you know why he said don't ask me about another fight, because the only person that's in that weight class that people would ask him about is Andy Cruz. So indirectly, he's saying he doesn't want to fight Andy. That's how I looked at it. Hey, can you imagine they go through all that, Hawker, and he finally accepts a fight with Tom Aspinall and just blows Tom Aspinall out the water? Can you imagine that shit? That shit would be crazy, wouldn't it? They making all this big deal like, oh, John Jones don't want to fight Tom Aspinall. And then finally, he's just one day he's gonna be like, forget it. You know what? Just fuck, I'm tired of everybody. And then he just like he beats him in like round one. That shit would be hilarious, bro. No, but that guy Aspinall is good, bro. Yeah, because usually, bro, listen, I think people hate John Jones so much. And of course, the PEDs makes him look bad, bro. But I think they hate him so much that they overlook what he's good, bro. Come on. Come on. You know how sports fans are, bro, especially combat sports fans. It's for some reason, it's so hard for them to admit that a fighter that they don't like is skilled. I don't know why. It's like holy water to like a vampire or something. It's like they can't do it. It's like it's not in their DNA. They can't do it. They can't do it. That should be looking funny sometimes though. Every time Tank fights somebody, they're like, oh, that dude's trash. Okay, well then, if everybody's fighting is trash, what the hell does that make Tank, bro? I'm not saying it. You're saying it. Anyway, look, man, I got to head out, man. It was good talking to y'all. Y'all have a blessed Sunday. And wherever you at, take care, man. I'll talk to y'all next time.